Honorable member in a dark suit. I'm sorry I can't see that far.
Waluke is here.
Okay, and the last will give the honorable member lady on the front. Where is Waluke?
I'm here, Speaker. This side.
Okay, you'll be number 5.
Okay, thanks.
So let's start with number 1.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Number
Bwana
1
Speaker.
from here.
Yes.
Come to Mama Nairobi. Go to the gentleman. Is it Okukaunya? Yes. Sorry, I had not noticed. And then the lady on the front, the honorable member, and Honorable Waluke, who are solicited to be noticed. Yes, Governor.
Thank you, Bwana Governor. Thank you, Bwana Speaker. I am Kirima. Moses
And because of the interest, please try and just ask one question each.
I will squeeze my 3
so
questions
that we
into one.
give room to everybody else.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bwana Honorable Speaker. I will squeeze my 3 questions into one. I'm Moses Kirima from Central Imenti, Meru District in Meru County. Now, Bwana Governor, my simple question, of which I would like to squeeze the 3 to be one, is that since you took over as a central banking governor, of which it happened at the time when I have been working as an advocate, you came up with some policies which are not so much business friendly. And one of them, even though it has been asked, I would wish to just to reiterate the same so that you can give us a concrete answer, whereby this idea of 1 million, our people have been business people for quite a period and they have been operating with large amount of money. Now, is it not discouraging our people from saving because they know that they will not be able to withdraw the same to carry out their businesses and they are keeping the money in their houses? Because that's where they can be able to access it without hindrance. That's one. Then the other one is this one of whereby this policy of anti-bank laundering money. This one, it came to Parliament as a bill. And we are so much aware there is some countries which are called safe havens, whereby they have been made rich by having savings from outside countries. And ours is that now we have squeezed those savers from outside and we cannot allow people to save from outside in Kenya because there is that policy, especially of advocates, client confidentiality. Is it not that we are discouraging those savers from outside? Yet in European countries, you can get there and save a lot of money as much as you wish. Is it not a policy from outside which is against us? Then to conclude, we have the academic idea of economic development in Kenya where GDP is looking so good. But Bwana Governor, if you happen to go to the rural areas, you'll find that people have no money. Money is not circulating in the people's pockets. People have no money. And we're becoming more academic than really when it comes to money circulating in the rural areas. That's all, Bwana Governor. That's all.
Next, Mheshimiwa Pasaris. Please restrict to one question or one comment in your interventions, because the interest is very vast.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Yesterday, His Excellency, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, was on an interview, and he said that we had a big crisis on pending bills amounting to over 500 billion, and he was going to ask for Central Bank to approve floating a bond for 500 billion to pay the pending bills. Now, for me, much as I know that a lot of people are owed money, the question that I have in my head is that we put a law in procurement that no government entity can procure without having a budget, allocating the budget, forming a tender committee. So for me, if we actually look at 500 billion in pending bills, then my question is, this money was approved, this money was allocated, that's why the expenditure happened, and then it wasn't paid to the relevant people. So where is this initial 500 billion that should have paid these pending bills? And would you support a 500 billion pending bills bond for the government and the impact it will have on us as a country?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Kaunya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Governor, thank you for the very elaborate presentation. But my question is on this digital currency as in relation to the devaluation of the shilling versus the dollar. You did indicate the dollar, which you didn't want to come out very clearly, the political aspect. To what extent would the bitcoins or digital currencies help us to resolve that devaluation that really is affecting the cost of living, devaluation of the shilling against the dollar from time to time? And what is the status of our adoption of the digital currencies? Thank you.
The Honorable
Thank you, Mr.
Distinguished
Speaker.
Lady.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bwana Governor, my name is Rosa Buyu from Kisumu West. Bwana Governor, a lot of Kenyans are apprehensive and actually highly fearful that there's going to be a shutdown by government. Why? Because many of our respected leaders have actually pronounced that government accounts only has 93 million. I'd just like to have a clarification from you on behalf of those Kenyans. Is this just hot air or it's fact? Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Waluke, the fifth.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. My question to Governor is that before I ask the question, you are not coming out clearly answering the questions. I want you to tell us about the economy of this country, whether it's doing well, improving, or tickling down. Two, I want you to talk about the debt ceiling also. How much we borrowed as a country and how much have we paid as today. I think those are enough.
Thank you, Governor. Now we go. Governor, we have taken 5.
Okay, fine.
You can
so
now answer.
let me take this. I thought there was somebody else, but that's okay. So beginning with the first one, and if you don't mind, I'll try and move a little faster.
Yes.
The member from Meru. So business and friendly policies, and in particular, the question that was also asked by Honorable Ichung'wah. I think the point here is we cannot, we cannot continue doing things the old way. Yeah, the cash, etc. The world is moving ahead. And one of the big issues, years ago, we never had this problem. Now we have a problem of money laundering, illicit transactions, etc. Those are big things. Years ago, remember years ago, you could even be smoking now where you are. Yeah? But you don't. Even outside, they'll probably arrest you if you go out there and begin smoking. Now, smoking is a small, let's say, violation. actually money laundering is a bigger violation. And money laundering comes with other issues. You know, as they say, these things, it's like problems. Problems don't come singly. They come in multiple at once. So if you begin with money laundering, if you allow money laundering, etc., you can imagine that all the other vices will come with it. And I don't mean vices in a moral way. I mean it in the way that we as a society know it, we as a Kenyan society, right? You know, like now we are talking about these girls that are going to Saudi Arabia and coming back in difficulties, whatever that means. I mean, if that's not a problem that we are willing to sort of make ours and solve, then we have a problem. So I'm just making the point here that the reason to do these things, the bottom line here is to make the environment safer for all of us. Now, it may require that, you know, when you go, in the past you'd put in your money in the bank and there were no questions. Now they need to know what your line of business is. You know, I keep telling you, wait till you become a PEP. I think Speaker, you are PEP. You're like me. PEP is politically exposed persons. Most of you are politically exposed, but for the banks, somehow they don't always take you as such. But if you're politically exposed, and I also see another politically exposed person there, Ambassador, and the point is that just because of that, you are required to, when you go out of the country, you open an account or whatever, or you're making your family is making a transaction, they have to go through many hoops just to show that you are not, let's say, involved in some sort of illicit transaction. So I think the point here is we need to understand that and also make it friendly for you. And that I accept. Meaning we need to improve the system, as I explained in the answer, so that it is not a sort of a punishment. It's not something that is, let's say, that the banks are using to punish you and you have to go through all these hoops, particularly because they know you. You know, the banker should know you. I mean, there are three people that generally we used to say people need to know. One is your banker, second is your priest, yeah? And the third is your doctor, I hope, yeah? Not your lawyer, but your doctor. So those are people that you should be sort of working with closely and they know you quite well. So I hope that makes, now in terms of businesses coming into Kenya, we want good businesses to come that are founded on good business practices, etc. What we don't want is businesses that are supported by sort of illicit financial flows. Those we don't need. It's better if we die poor than get involved in those things. And I think there are many things that we should respect. We have a lot of self-respect and sort of say, well, we can do better than that. We don't need to sort of link up with people that are involved in this business in order to move forward. In terms of the other issue of you talked about the economic growth being academic, etc. I do accept that, but I thought I explained the point that what you are seeing is this sort of dichotomy of, let's say, the inequality that applies at times. I gave that example of, some of us may be doing very well, while others, our people may not be doing so well. There are some sectors that